Susanna Mills, and I am the editor-in-chief of the American Philatelist. For the November issue, we decided to bring back this topic of auctions. When last we talked about auctions, it was June 2021, and what we found was that there's a whole lot more to cover. We're bringing it back, we're looking at it from a couple different angles, bringing in some new voices. For example, as a potential seller, deciding whether or not auctions are the best option for you to buy and sell stamps. What kind of things should you consider? How are you going to make your decision about what auction house to choose? How are you going to make your decision about whether this is the best option compared to using a dealer or using private treaty or another means of buying and selling stamps? So we have several short articles in this issue around the topic of auctions. So for example, we got back Matthew Healy, who wrote in September, and he not only wrote about the Skylar Rumsey auction that happened at Great American Stamp Show. Parts of the proceeds of that Skylar Rumsey auction came from the Mason estate, and they are going to be used in order to help the APRL with its digitization project. We also welcome Charles Epting, who wrote about auction catalogs, drawing from his experience at H.R. Harmer with building an auction catalog that is meant to last, sit on your bookshelf for years to come and be a future resource for you. We also talked to Bob Roof. He's a great friend of the American Philatelic Society, and he talked to us about being a seller using auctions, gave us some advice, including look at the terms of sale, make sure you're very familiar with them, and you will keep yourself out of trouble as a seller and a buyer through auctions. So in this issue, one of our feature articles is by Henry Scheuer, who is helping us celebrate the centenary of collecting first day covers as we know it today. So essentially, in 1921, the Philatelic Sales Agency was created, and they were created for the purpose of letting people know when new stamps would be issued, those specific dates, if there'd be a ceremony, well enough ahead of time that people could be prepared. So stamp dealers took advantage of that in order to prepare what we know now as first day covers. The Philatelic Sales Agency was created in 1921. They really started their work in 1922, which is why this is the 100th year anniversary of this modern type of collecting. However, before 1921, people still collected first day covers. It just was a completely different beast. There were a lot fewer stamps that were issued with these designated first days. Some stamps were technically issued on a certain day, but may have been put into use before then, so people could collect earliest use covers rather than designated first days. There wasn't as much promotion. The promotion itself didn't really reach as far. So, for example, there's a very dedicated group of classic collectors in Washington, D.C. that you can actually find a lot of the earliest first day covers from. All this to say, Henry Scheuer wrote this article that explores what first day cover collecting looked like before this new modern era. I was really excited to have the chance to work again with Matthew Healy so soon after his contribution in the September issue. Matthew does a lot of writing about philatelic auctions, so I was really excited to work with him on this topic. He contributed 2 short articles. One of them is really near and dear to our hearts here at the APS. He talked to Skylar Rumsey and Scott English about Rumsey's recent auction that he hosted at Great American Stamp Show, where he sold the second half of the Robert Mason estate. Robert Mason donated a great deal to the APS after his passing a couple years ago, and we've used the proceeds from his estate to help support the digitization project of the APRL, to help pay off the mortgage on this building, and a lot of other projects. His legacy is really continuing to give, and Matthew captured it really well. In this month's New World Issues column, we have a topic that is near and dear to my heart, which is Lord of the Rings. Portugal issued a new set of stamps. We've got Gollum, we've got Frodo, we've got the Dark Lord Sauron, and as I just rewatched the entire extended version series, I'm really excited to see these new issues and enjoy combining those parts of my hobby.